Huck Academy students of grade 8 and grade 9 embarked on a learning experience like no other. Under the guidance of visiting faculty Ms. Sabina Huck and American poet Ms. Emily Ligren, our students created art and poetry. They created pieces that highlighted major social issues, from ecological change to climate transformation to political unrest to activism and other massive social issues that are affecting their generation today. They used their voices collectively and expressed themselves through their creativity of art and their words. It was an incredibly empowering experience, especially walking through the mangroves in Karachi. Join us as we hear what they have to say and what words lie in their hearts.
Are we too young, as we ask ourselves, while sitting down in our exam rooms, gripping our pens, while missiles fly above through gloomy clouds? As we crouch in fear, begging for a second chance. Expectations to pass. How can we when all this is going on? Is this really our reality? Our hearts burn as we hurtle to escape. Unexpected chaos erupting. Yet not long ago, we only pictured our inner child playing on the swings. When did our lives fall into this black hole? Memories with our dear families fade with the mist of gunpowder in the atmosphere, and we ask ourselves one last time, are we too young?
My room is small, but it holds the world. Green and grey shadows softly curled. Posters line the quiet walls, like whispered dreams in paper halls. Cozy corners, gentle gloom, all my peace lives in this room. Outside my window, life hums low, chirping birds in steady flow. Footsteps pass and breezes high, clouds drift slowly through the sky. I hear it all, and yet here I stay, safe from what drifts away. My stuffed toys gathered on my bed, my silent family, words unsaid. They guard my nights, they share my days, through changing moods and shifting ways. Within these walls, I always find a steady heart, a quiet mind.
They told her to whisper, but she was born with a voice like thunder. They told her to follow, but her feet knew the shape of their own road. She rises, she rises, she rises. Not from comfort, not from ease, but from the ashes of you can't and the dust of you shouldn't. She rises. She's not fragile like a flower. She's fragile like a flame. Flickering, yes, but capable of setting the dark alight. She rises. From classrooms where her questions once trembled, from streets where her footsteps were doubted, from rooms where her ideas were silenced, she gathers her courage like armor. She rises. She's the hand that writes history, the mind that shapes tomorrow, the heart that refuses to shrink. Let her speak, let her lead, let her learn. Because when she rises, families rise, communities rise, nations rise. She rises in quiet strength. She rises in loud defiance. She rises in every girl who dares to dream beyond permission. And she will keep rising, again and again and again.
The happiness, the innocence in everything we place our eyes on. The cold glaciers and snow, only for the polar bears. The hot desert, only for the camels. Humanity was alive in every eye. No scream, no cry, only joy in children's smile. The streams are still icy, there's snow on the trail. The sun has now set and everything has changed.
The orange creature haunts me, he who rips families apart, he who holds no warmth behind those eyes, he who doesn't want a united country, just needs his power to stand strong lifelong. Why can't the orange comprehend that the world is collapsing and it isn't in his control like he believes so? The orange feels infinite, he feels as if he knows all. He holds delusion that his hate will stand long, but what he doesn't know is that love will always be stronger than the miserable weight of hate he, the orange, carries.
When time felt slow, how we used to count the years like they were words. No, I'm not 7, I'm 7.5. Hoping it would make us sound bigger, stronger, older. Remember how we were in such a hurry of growing up to rush into the future? Remember how sleeping used to be the hardest part of the day? And now, I'd give anything to rest without a worry, to laugh without a worry, and to laugh without a thought of the future. And maybe that's the lesson. The future we chased wasn't perfect. Rather, the olden golden days were the best and held the real magic.
With rain came a silence before the sirens, before the streets turned into rivers, and the sky forgot how to close. Karachi did not sleep that night. Clouds pressed low over the buildings, and the drains choked on plastic and dust, spitting the water back at us. I stood by the window, watching headlights drown, cars floating like broken boats. On roads I walked every day. With rain came fear of power cuts and dark rooms and messages saying, "Are you safe?" and calls that would not connect. Water crept under our gate, slow at first, almost shy, then bold, rushing into the city as it owned the city. Neighbors pushed all bikes. Children cried from rooftops, and somewhere an ambulance wailed into the storm. Yet, with rain came something else. Hands passing sandbags, strangers sharing food, and voices saying, "Come upstairs." When morning finally arrived, Karachi looked bruised and tired, but alive. And I learned quickly a city can drown and how stubbornly it can stand again.
Do you realize Pakistan was a part of a huge subcontinent? In 1947, we got freedom, but we still opposed. Forced to stay. But why? Why use so much force to keep people in the way you want them to be? Why waste so many lives to pursue what you want? Why have the blood of the people who only yearn for freedom in your hands? And yet, 79 years later, they still fight for our land, but why?
Ask and you shall receive. Ask for rain and you shall receive sobbing clouds, sobbing friends, a soul trapped inside a prison, trapped inside a coffin, trapped inside by water. A severe disconnect, a disconnected internet, a disconnected light, and a boy disconnected from the gravity of the situation. If these walls could talk, they'd tell me to run while I still could. They tell me they were dying, asphyxiated by what kept me breathing. Lips dry as chalk, the sky darkened, amidst the screams of the excitement. That turned into abject horror as they too saw what I saw. The silence was deafening, as I felt something wet inside our tiny apartment. If this cloth could talk, it'd tell me my efforts were in vain. The water rose higher even as it rang the rag dry. A sewer rebuilt, I was told, yet even as I woke to a crinkling noise, it failed to contribute when the time was rigged. Sleepless nights in my parents' room, looking at the world I used to know, rendered unrecognizable by the fragile yet impenetrable layer of water. It was shallow entertainment. Staring at the darkening world, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, and it was that I was fresh on the block. I woke at a time unknown, the mosquitoes were all I heard. The world seemed to have paused, considerate of my confusion, even as it ignored the pride of the morning losses it caused. The hourglass was tipped over and things looked up, an uneducated judgment based off that of the sun in the sky. I pried open a cabinet, found a mat, closed my eyes, and prayed.
Flag used to stand high and tall, but now, when it tries to rise, it falls. In every home you found warmth, but now darkness and cold air adds weight to the walls. Palestine is like a tiger in a cage, wounded, with bystanders watching but not daring to aid. Help this country, for which you may get reward. We do not want an ending we can't see. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
We long for peace. Today, tomorrow, and we did yesterday too. All animals migrate as a form of survival, yet humans are the only ones who believe in invisible lines, and hostility across those lines, and racism to people across those lines. Yet, at the end of the day, we all bleed the same blood. At the end of the day, we all bleed red. Our world leaders endorse these ideas. Our world leaders show ignorance and denial in the face of dying children, starving humans, collapsing economies, and our faith in humanity progressively lessens as we hear of terrible cases around the world. Darkness becomes more prominent the deeper we dig, the more we know. But change lies in our hands and our hands alone. If we do not stand against this, who will? We must wake up. We must make a change. Our future, our happiness, our peace, and our survival lies in our hands.
Where I'm from, Bangkok, Thailand, there are multiple skyscrapers which together forms a beautiful skyline, which all comes to life at night with a bustling nightlife. with multiple convenience stores nestled in almost everywhere, filled with delicious and tasty foods. When I'm there, I'd like to see the views of Bangkok by riding a car throughout the city. Over the flat landscape these bustling cities crisscross, Bangkok was crafted with great infrastructure.
2017, the sky was bright. Pakistan triumphed, hearts alight. I grabbed a bat, I ran, I played. A love for cricket had been made. Every boundary, every ball I threw felt like magic, felt so new. The pitch, the field, the cheering sound. In every match, my joy was found. The years rolled on, the winds grew through. From 2018 to 22, the scoreboard dimmed, my spirit sighed. The passion that burned slowly died. By 24, the thrill was gone. Cricket still played, but love withdrawn. Yet in my heart, a memory stays of those golden carefree cricket days.
I hope this finds you. You are probably busy working in the kitchen. You are probably traveling the world. You are probably standing up for the ones who are not able to stand up for themselves. I hope this finds you. I hope you have a heart big enough to forgive the ones that caused you pain. I hope that you make good decisions for yourself. I hope you know people love you no matter what. I hope you remember this. I hope you remember laughing with your friends. I hope you remember staying up at night studying for your tests. I hope you remember the person I used to be. Learn from our mistakes, be a good person, live life to the fullest.
In 2022, the sky over Karachi lowered itself and it did not rise. The rain stitched the air shut, water climbed the stairs pressed against doors. It lay down in living rooms like it belonged there. Mattresses floated, school books bled ink into brown currents, and across Pakistan, millions watched their walls soften and fold. And more than 1,500 heartbeats were taken by a sky that would not close. Mothers stood in water up to their ribs, holding children above their own breath. Fathers searched for dry ground that no longer existed. The city tasted of rust, it tasted of sewage and prayer. While some of us moved tiny characters across bright digital screens, the real water kept rising, patient and without mercy. How can something so beautiful be so destructive?
Oh little bird of fire, bird of heart, do you enjoy your cage? The cold metal bars trapping you in, jagged edges slicing through soft red feathers. But is it your feathers or the sharp tinge of blood that has stained your pretty wings? Plastic jewels accompany your silence, mocking you with their cruel glint. No amount of stones could mirror the taste of freedom, the feel of soaring through the sky. You are about to be sold for a coin or two. Is that the worth of your life? Use your voice, little bird. Squawk and chirp and screech. Claw your talons against the metal bars until the rusted log gives way, and your wings will stretch once more. Oh, little bird, bird of dreams, bird of power, do you enjoy your freedom?
Women standing tall, no longer pressed against a wall. Their voices clear, their choices free, shaping the world they want to see. Not asking for space, but taking ground, with step in every step and sound. In classrooms, homes, and hallways of power, they rise a little more each hour. Fear no longer writes their fate, nor silence guards a closing gate. Their dreams are loud, their futures wide, with truth and courage as their guide. A future bright, fair and proud, where women rise, unafraid and loud.